I am quickly recording this video before I package this Sony FE 50mm 1.8 lens and send it off. It is already sold. This is the first time I'm selling a lens to upgrade to a new lens with the same focal length, so that should tell you something. In this video, I will share my thoughts on this lens and who it is for and why I sold it. I am not too strict when it comes to build quality. Of course, if it is of good quality, I do notice it and appreciate it, but I am very used to cheap used gear, so being plasticky is alright with me. Most of the time it means that it's lighter, so that's a plus. But I think many people will say this lens is plasticky and maybe the build quality isn't up to par. But I have zero complaints about it. I actually like the build quality. I don't have any problems with the image quality either. I did buy this lens after watching reviews and comparisons against the 55mm size lens, which is the much more desired 50mm lens. But that lens is about 2.5 times more expensive, and the image quality difference was not too apparent. I saw people in the comment section preferring the 55 size a lot more, but I honestly couldn't really tell most of the time. I don't have an eye for that stuff, so I opted for the cheaper option and got this lens. And that was a mistake. I have now used this lens on 4 photo walks, only 4, and I absolutely hate it already. I really want to love it or at least be content with it because I don't want to spend the extra cash of getting the 55mm size lens. I really don't. But it all comes down to only the autofocus and the motor noise. It severely searches in and out on every autofocus. You know how when your new focus point is really close to your previous focus point in terms of distance? Your lens searches much less and it's much quicker to lock focus, right? This lens doesn't seem to do that. It is always doing almost a full in and out search on any new focus point, which makes it really slow and also inaccurate. And yes, I do have the latest firmware update, and it makes strong vibrations and loud noise whenever it is searching in and out. So when I'm in video mode, all that sound gets recorded and makes the audio close to unusable. What's even worse is that even after being focused, it sometimes constantly searches in and out just a bit when in video mode. Of course, I wasn't locked focus on a human being, I was just recording cityscape, but it was constantly searching in and out. I didn't notice it when I was recording, but when I got home and played back those videos, all I could hear was the constant autofocus motor noise. It's very light and it's small enough, and the image quality is pretty good and it's really cheap. I got it for $125. For reference, the size 55mm cost about $300 to $350 on the used market here in South Korea. So when I got this lens instead of the size, I was sure that I was done buying any more 50mm lens from now on, because I'm all about cost efficiency and I'm fine with just good enough lenses. And I'm fine not having the sharpest lens if it means saving money. And this lens is plenty sharp. But I hate this lens and I already sold it and will probably get the size 55 instead. Maybe not right away, but before I travel to a different country because I want to shoot more photos and b-rolls with my favorite focal length. I know sometimes when I say negative things about a gear that I own, some people get offended, but it is what it is. I want people watching this to get the real idea about this lens. For some people, what I talked about will be a deal breaker, and I might be saving them some trouble, time, and money. But if you're not really into street photography, so you don't need the fast autofocus, and it's okay not doing video work with this particular lens, then I do recommend it because it is so cheap and the image quality is pretty good. As I said before, to me, the only downside of this lens is the autofocus and the loud noise. So that's it. This was my quick review or my thoughts on this lens. I made this video out of anger, to be honest, but I hope this was helpful. Now, do you have any experience with this lens? Any of you own both the 50 and the 55mm size? What was your experience like? Please let me know in the comments because I'm in the market for the 55mm size, so I'm curious. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps out my channel by pushing my content out to more viewers. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.